Hi, Carol here, and a warm welcome to my craft room for part 2 of the Fire Brigade card. And I'm using this Inkadinkadoo stamp set that I bought at Michael's, having a rough day, and I'm using the paw and I'm using the bone that's there. And because they're photopolymer, I always take a mild file and like this, and I go over it and it makes a beautiful impression. I am using the pigment inks because I want to go over it with clear embossing powder. So Avery L makes beautiful colors in a pigment ink. I worked at it a little bit every day to try and get it up as I was feeling better. And I wanted to incorporate these little bones in here because of the Dalmatians. So I did the Avery L yellow, red, and orange. Here I'm just cleaning up after myself there. And look at the beautiful yellow in this. So I stamped out 6 little bones on my 120-pound white cardstock because it actually helps you when you fussy cut to have that little bit of thickness to your cardstock, and your scissors won't slide like they would if you just stamped it and then started to cut. You know, I like to outline all of the cuts when I fussy cut with the matching color. So I had these inexpensive markers that I bought at Michael's, and they could have been Walmart. I'm not sure where I bought them. If you see me take the lid off, you might recognize them because I see them all the time. And I thought they'd be really nice to have this set of markers just for going over the outlining of fussy cut cardstock. I thought I'd share with you when I do outlining of any fussy cut images, I always like to put my image away from me because that way if I happen to skip down towards me there, like I did right there, you're just going to get the back of your image and have a line on it instead of the pretty one. So you just always do the lining with the image away from you. I just thought I'd throw that in for you. So here I am using the VersaFine. I love this black ink, and we're going to do our Dalmatians. So I grabbed an extra piece of cardstock. I'm going to run the Dalmatians totally across in no particular order. I'm going to kind of go up and down because this is going to go in the card, but it's also going to be added onto the envelope that we make. And I think you're really going to love this card. I can't wait to give it to Carolyn. I think she's just going to adore it. You know how there's some cards we make, we just absolutely find it hard to part with it? This is one of those cards for me. I had so much fun doing it, even though it took me a little bit longer than I would have liked, but it was worth it to me. And I'm using the MFT, You're Always There When I Need You, and the Sending Thanks circle. So I'm going to fussy cut. I'm going to stamp out, I think it was 6 of the Sending Thanks, and You're Always There When I Need You. I did 2 of them, and I put clear embossing powder over top, and I'm going to make flags out of these 2 for the card, one for the outside and one for the inside. And I just cut it down with my cutter right here, and then we're going to move on to the puppies. Now, this is really nice when you fussy cut around the heads, and then you can take off as much as you want on the lower part. Because it's going to be an edging, you want to keep it, so you have a little bit of room there. And I'm using the hot glue gun, so I need a little bit of space. And I'm just going to cut them all down, and we'll use it for the envelope, and we'll use it for the card itself. And this little Fiskars cutter is wonderful. It's really sharp, and if you use your 40% coupon, it is very affordable. So here I'm just cutting around the little puppies, and then you're going to take, I took my Copic 100 black marker, and see how I'm doing it so that the images that I just heat set is away from me, and the puppies are, not facing me in case I slip, like there. And it works every time so you don't make a boo-boo. I knew that I needed to also stamp out the fireman hats. I needed 4 of them. So as soon as I finished that, I stamped it with black VersaFine ink, and then I put clear embossing powder over top because we're going to fussy cut all 4 of these out, and it is also on the thicker cardstock. And yeah, it's so pretty. So here we're going to flag "You're always there when I need you." So you just cut it in the center with some sharp scissors and then go to the corners and meet up with your cut, and you get a perfect little flag every time. So I did both of them, and now I'm getting really excited as we get into finishing this card. So cute. I don't think there's anything wrong with really liking your cards when you make them, is there? Because I keep saying how cute it is, but it really is. It's coming together beautifully. So I outlined the hats, and we're going to add the little puppies to this side. I wanted to, it just looked bare. So I cut it off at the ear. I'm grabbing my Copic 100, my 100, and it is a beautiful black, and I'm taking my hot glue gun that's been sitting there, make a nice even line as close to the edge as you can, and you have a little bit of manipulation time there with the hot glue gun, but not much. And there you can see we put the bones on the corner. So crazy cute, isn't it? So I take my Copic 100 marker, the black, and they're nice and juicy. You want to keep your Copics filled, and when they're nice and juicy like this, it goes on beautifully. And it matches the inside nicely when you're flipping it. And I'm going to add Dalmatians here so it covers up the line made with the glue gun. So quickly, I just butt it up into the other cardstock there that we just colored in black, and then I'm going to snip it off there, and it is crazy cute, these little Dalmatians. But I wanted to cover that line, so guess what I did? I guess I'm not going to show you yet. I'm going to put down the "You're always there when I need you" and the little "Sending thanks." So I grabbed my glue gun because it'll pop it up, and I went around the edges with the hot glue, and I set that down, making sure it's even because you do have a little bit of time. And then I'm going to put the round circle, and I used my black glue dots. I did them too high, and I set that on the corner so it popped it up even higher than the flag. And yes, it says "Sending thanks, you're always there when I need you," and then the thankful. So I thought, okay, I want to cover that line there on the inside of the card. So I had these leftover little doggy bones, and I went in order with the red, yellow, and orange, then red, yellow, and orange. And I took my glue there, my detailed glue, and I'm just adding it. I'm moving it over because I don't want to cover any of those cutesy wootsy little Dalmatians. And I'm using my multi-medium glue, and it worked very well. And don't you love it when it ends? Yeah, I'm just showing it to you there. When it ends without having to cut half of the bone off. Yeah, everything was working out with this card. It was just wonderful. Now I want to add and finish up the center piece there where we took the Copic air gun and we made the flames. So I had the Stampin' Up tag punch. I folded it in half, and I'm glue gunning it on each side. And then I want to glue gun the hats, one on top of each of these little banners going across. I think it just adds, it pulls it together right there. And I loved it. I didn't color it in because there's so much color with the flames going on. I really liked the black and white sketchy look of this. So I'm looking at it there, and I'm thinking, okay, I want to add "Sending thanks" so that it looks like it's kind of like buttons on there with the little doggy on the corner. Oh, it's so crazy sweet. I just can't wait to give it to her. Look at that. Aren't those Dalmatians so cute? And I used my hot glue gun to get all of that on there because there was dimension in the embossing folder. So it just worked out very well for me. Now that I see this is what I want to add so far, I'm taking my Suquang double-sided tape. It's 3 inches, and I'm putting 2 strips down there. I don't have to be careful at the bottom because I will grab some scissors and I will cut it off even. And that's what I'm going to do right there. This is one of the cards that I really had fun making. Now it's really late. See how it's really dark? I only turned on 1 or 2 lights upstairs. I wanted to work a little bit at a time, just as you felt rested, and I couldn't wait to get into the craft room and to finish this up. Yep, that wasn't coming up, was it? Yeah, you don't want to get it too close when I'm working on it because I have a way of sticking it down when I don't want it to stick. So anyhow, we have to cover up right there. We have to cover up that magnet on the flip side. And as you can see, I didn't use the other flip card. I ended up just using the double fold and then I added this. So we're adding another tag. I love that punch by Stampin' Up that makes these tags. Folded it in half, and it is texture paper here. I'm using the gray, as you can see the texture, and I'm just eyeballing the yellow, folding it over, and then I take out my VersaFine ink, and here's where we're going to use the little dog paw. And this will add some interest, and it will also add some fun onto the card. So I'm just making it look like the little doggies are walking all over the place here. And the VersaFine is actually beautiful working with the texture paper. I had no problem whatsoever. Now that I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put some double-sided tape after I clean up my block, and we are going to stick it down. So this is my 1-inch double-sided tape, and I think it's about right here where I felt like I needed some bubble gum. So I grabbed a piece. I thought I'd just show you that. And now we're taking off the tape. It's really sticky double-sided tape. It's good for texture paper. We're going to set that over top of our magnet. Isn't it cute? Just love doggy paws. So you can see the paws when you close the card, which is really nice. And I'm thinking, okay, let's get out all the pieces parts. It needs a little bit more on here. So I grabbed the other end. I put some hot glue on it that said you're always there when I need you. The one that we flagged, made a flag out of. And then I think I'm going to put another, I'm going to add some dog bones. That's what I did. They're cute. I always, want to use the odd number theory. So I put 3 of them on there, the red, the orange, and the yellow, just above the flag. And now I found one more, sending thanks. Yeah, I'm sorry my arm's in the way there, but I put an extra, the 3rd bone up there. And now I loved this sentiment that says, having a rough day, with a question mark. So I'm going to put it on the inside. And I added my baby powder and my blush brush. And I'm using Versamark, and we're putting it down. And then I'm going to use my white Hero Arts fine embossing powder. So I get that out, and I think it's really cute, having a rough day, because you have the little dogs, the Dalmatians, and I'm cleaning any strays off, which I didn't have very much. I'm just, I must have put pressure on it because some of the letters were just a little too thick, so I took it off with my pokey tool and it worked out perfectly. So I'll heat set that, and then we'll clean up the baby powder. Yeah, just making it as clean and crisp as I could. Having a rough day? I was that day, oh yes. So there you have it, and then I think I add that circle. No, yes, I put the fireman hat up there with the hot glue, and I thought that was the perfect touch. So my friends, we're getting there. Look at that. There's the front. I just think it's so cute. There's the inside. I'm going to keep that nice and clean. Look at those little Dalmatians. I love that sketchy stamp. And there's the inside and the having a rough day. I kept that nice and clean and crisp. And here I'm adding a little bit more powder because I'm going to use some Versamark. And I got out my Faith stamps. I love these. I have the entire Bible, Old Testament and New Testament, with these cling stamps, and now I'm going to add just a beautiful saying. I think it just added to the back of the card, and it's about faith. Isn't that beautiful? Just a lot. There's the Old Testament and the New Testament stamps. I did that. I showed you that in a haul. I got it at Sharon's store. So here I'm taking my VersaFine and I'm putting it as close in the middle as I can, eyeballing it, and I'm going to use white embossing powder right there, and I'm heat setting it really close for some reason. I don't know why. You don't need to be that close, but my Milwaukee heat tool gets really hot, so I must have felt like I need to get close on that, and then I clean off the powder a little bit there, and I'm really happy with it. I think it's a beautiful saying. It's just a saying. It's not a scripture verse. This is actually a damp cloth. But the 100, oh yeah, there it is. I love showing this. I want to do some index cards using the scripture verses there. I just haven't got around to that. And I grabbed some of my gumdrops and I put the yellow on each side of the saying. I think it's, I'll hold it up there. It's let faith, oh, I don't show it to you there, but we will. Look at my boo-boo. I hit my nail. I broke my thumbnail, and boy, did it hurt. So I have my little lipstick Band-Aids. I got those at Michael's. Look at, there's the Dalmatians. It has glasses and lipstick, and it has mustaches, a box there of Band-Aids. So I thought that was kind of cute. And having a rough day, you're always there when I need you. It's just a bright, let faith be bigger than your fears. As a firefighter, I thought that was a wonderful saying on faith. So now I'm picking out to make the envelope. This envelope was so much fun, and we had to adjust the size. So I think you're going to love it because the scoreboard only goes up to so many sizes, but you can adjust it, and I'll show you how to do it. Here's the thing. I needed 6.5 by 7.5. That's what my card was. So what I did was I added to the 6 by 7.5. I'm going to give you the figures in just a minute. So I'm going around. I'm just going to do this for now. I'm not going to tell you the numbers till we get there. And as you can see, I just do up to where I don't go off the board, because when you fold it, it will crease. You just need enough of the fold because it's a bigger envelope size. There we go. And you're making adjustments there. I just want to make sure that it's going to fit without having to do more work and then it didn't fit. So I'll show you this. Oh yeah, I'm going over the edges, taking off all of the corners. I just love We Are Memory Keepers. They always come out with such wonderful things, don't they? So if you want to stop the video to see how I changed up the sizing, you can. I take up my Teflon bone folder, making crisp edges, and you'll see how it's off because I had to add another 1/2 inch to the measurements of the scoreboard. Now see right there, see how it is larger than on the other side. You'll need to take off that 1/4 inch right there on that side, and then just as you would, fold it up, and you'll be amazed how you can add an inch. It adds a 1/4 inch on each side, and just by switching up the measurement, and I will write it out for you so that you can stop the video, and whenever you need to add an inch increment to the scoreboard, it works out beautifully. So here we go. I'm going to show it to you in the numbers. See how you can only get 6 by 7.5 on there, and I needed to add an extra 1/2 inch. So on the scoreboard it says this right there. It says 6 times 7.5, and then you need a piece of paper that's 10 3/4 by 10 3/4, scoring at the 4 and 3/4. That's what it says right there. I'm showing it to you. Now I need to add a 1/2 inch. I need it, so let's take that off. I need it 6.5. Oh yeah, I have to clean that. Isn't that funny? I could have waited till later, but no, I have to stop and clean it. I didn't actually want my card to get any ink on it, so yeah. So let's start again. I needed 6.5 by 7.5, which is not on the scoreboard. The 7.5 is, but not that 1/2 inch. So I figured out that if I take my sheet of paper and I make it 11 1/4 by 11 1/4, right there is where I'm going to grab the 1/2 inch, and I'm going to score it at 5 7/8. So if you need to have a 6.5 by 7.5 inch envelope, cut out your 12 by 12 paper to 11 1/4 by 11 1/4, not 11, I'm sorry, 11 1/4 by 11 1/2. 11 1/4 by 11 1/2, and then I'm covering it up. Score it at the 5 7/8, and you will get a perfect sized envelope. We're going to put that away, and we're going to do exactly, we're going to get a sheet of paper 11 1/2 by 11 1/4, cut it out, and you're going to put 1/16 inch, the smallest size double-sided tape, on each side of the folds here, and keep it right to the edge. And I'll show you what we have to do, because we're going to have a little bit of extra cardstock. See how it's thick on that side and it'll be thin on the other. So take off your double-sided tape and off both sides right there, and it looks like it fits perfectly, but I'm going to show you. Put that in there. Yeah, fold it up. Now you can see it is going to, I did it lightly because I need to take it off. You see it's going to meet up there, but you're going to have that 1/2 inch right there, that I'm sorry, 1/4 inch. You have that extra 1/4 inch, so fold it down and cut it off. So as soon as you do that, you have your perfect 6.5 by 7.5 inch envelope, and it just fits perfectly. So what I do here, let me just see, I'm just going to make a crisper cut just along the edges so it lies flat. And I'm going to take my multi-medium glue and run it under there. And there you go. It is a 6.5 by 7.5 inch envelope. Very easy to do. You're just adding an extra 1/2 inch. Look at that. It's slid in there wonderfully. But now I need to make another score mark. A little 1/16 of an inch right on the scoreboard there, so that it had, you know, when the thick card goes in, you have a little bit of a gusset. And so I took my Martha Stewart scoreboard, I added a 1/16 of an inch, which is one line over, and take your Teflon, whatever bone folder you have, fold it up, and you have a little wee gusset for when you're closing your envelope. Isn't that wonderful? And it works just adjusting the numbers. Now we need to decorate so that it'll close. And isn't that wonderful to have that little bit of a gusset on the top? And we are going to make a, let me see, like a button closure. But we're going to use this many thanks. So you're going to cut the center out of the one just by using the pokey tool, making a cut in the center and then working your way out. See how you move your paper and keep your scissors in the same spot, and you'll get a lovely cut every time for fussy cutting. And then take your Copic marker here, the 100 black, and I'm just going, yes, I ended up doing it with it facing me. So that worked out well. And then I grabbed some black twine, and we're going to use the glue gun so that the twine is nice and hot right on the end of the corner there. Put your twine inside. It's about, I'd say, 10 inches. And then put your many thanks circle or button or whatever you want to use there. Hold it down for a minute, and that glue, that hot glue, will secure that. So I am just seeing where I need to put the next one, and the one that we made the hole in it. Excuse me. And I grabbed one of those bumpers, but you can put hot glue in there and make a nice big circle. So it's about halfway, I'd say, on the envelope. Now I want it to be a little higher, so I grabbed another one of those bumpers. I got that at Tuesday morning at that little container. But like I said, you can use a button, anything where you can get a little lift on it. And so I put that on so you can wrap the twine around it. And I added another bumper up on the top there so it kind of matched the top and the bottom. I just love those little things. But like I said, see how high it is? Then I'm going to take some baby powder because the bumpers are sticky, right? It has that stickiness on the sides and I don't want the twine to stick. So I'm just pushing it into the sticky little bumper there. Or you can use your hot glue and make a circle. And I'm just brushing it here, and I'm going to do the same thing on the top so nothing will prevent the twine from, having a nice smooth tie on it. And see how I wrap it in the opposite direction. And then I got an amazing idea. I am going to put one of the bones on there. I tie it in one tie and let it hang. And I thought, wow, I love that. So I said, okay, that works. You really don't have to tie it because it takes a minute to untie. And you don't want somebody trying to, open it and then they don't realize that it's been tied. So I grabbed a hat, one of the fireman hats. I put it on the top. Oh, I just love the closure on this. And then I undid it and I put hot glue there and one of the little bones. I thought that was really cute. And I think, it's more for show than for go. And it's sitting up. I took one of the bumpers off. It only has one on there with the bone because that will hold the twine on each side. Then I grabbed the wonderful Dalmatian strip there and I put it on the bottom. I'm just making sure it is even to the center of the envelope. And I needed one more doggy, so I fussy cut it and I put it on the end there with a little bit of the hot glue. And tell me that's not a cute closure. I just love it. So we're winding down. I have my little puppy on the end and I really like the closure on this envelope. I really like the salmon colored. It has the orange red tinge to the color of the envelope, and the twist tie is it's always an easy peasy way to close your envelope if you don't want to put any glue or double-sided tape. There's the bumpers that I got at Tuesday morning for 99 cents. But you can make those with your glue gun as well, whichever way you want. And see how it matches the colors on the card, the envelope color, and then take your twine, wrap it around that circle with the bone on it, and then just let it hang. I'm not going to tie it. And the little Dalmatians on the bottom, I had a blast. I will calligraphy her name on the front and hand deliver this with some cookies, hopefully tomorrow morning. And I'm going to leave you with some pictures. And thank you for your wonderful, encouraging comments. You have yourself a blessed week, and we'll see you on the next project. Take care, everybody.
I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you. I'm gonna write words so sweet, they're gonna knock me off of my feet. A lot of kisses on the bottom, I'll be glad I got them. I'm gonna smile and say, I hope you're feeling better. I'll close with love the way you do. I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter, and I'm gonna make believe it came from you.